Went wrong defensively?
I think that DeMar was DeMar, and they're one of the elite teams in the NBA. It's a little bit of a reminder that we saw with Golden State. They made threes, and we did a poor job of fouling. I'd look forward to see that on tape, but I give them credit. Like it doesn't surprise anybody what they were going to try to do in the third period after they got down. We actually started the third period well, but I think that we'll all look at the game and see, the differential in free throws attempted, and the turnovers were kind of even. One at 21, one at 23. And usually when we don't win the rebounding, we don't win the game. And their offensive rebounds, I think, hurt us a lot throughout the game, especially in that period.
What kind of clarification were you given, if any, on the offensive foul call and then underneath the basket?
Not a lot. Just that they reviewed it and they decided that it wasn't. And so you don't have really that much chance to get into a conversation. And you trust their judgment that they've gone to see it and review it. And I just, trust their judgment that they're going to get it right. Although we missed it during that Oklahoma City where Dario, me and Joe called the timeout. That's probably the first time I feel that it was blatantly wrong. And so, you learn, you give them the benefit of the doubt.
What happened with Joel before the game? You said he was a problem. What happened?
We just came in and, he goes through the warm-ups and just didn't feel comfortable. It's really that simple, where he felt okay in the morning. He went through a shoot-around. And then, half an hour or whatever it is before the game, we learned that he just didn't feel comfortable playing, like he wasn't going to be able to give what he feels would help the team. And so we decided to rest him again.
But at this point, do you worry that losing these leads often in the second half is becoming too much of a trend?
I mean, you're always worried about it. I think that, is it something that we think is going to continue to be an epidemic? No, I don't. Like, I saw great things from this group. I saw our team fight without Joe and without JJ. We got up big at home. We ended up losing that lead to a really good team, and we're disappointed. But I go a few layers deeper, and I see what I see in that locker room and how they genuinely care, and we're going to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to get healthy. We're going to get better. Tonight I thought we were going to have Trevor, who would have helped us physically in that game. That's a bunch of men down in that Toronto locker room. And, there were times that I didn't feel the physical side of that game that we need to feel against that veteran team. And no, I don't. We will fix it. We'll move on. We'll get better from this.
Is that on the defensive boards? I think you gave up like 40% of their shots they rebounded. Was that specifically?
I think that's right. I don't know the actual number, Rich, but I felt like, Valanciunas when he played, Serge when he played quite a bit, and Pirtle, they really hurt us on the offense when you felt it. Initially, I thought it was a lot out of them pick and rolling, but it wasn't. It was just they gained position down there, and we just had a hard time as a team. And that's not us. We're a very good rebounding team. When you look at the percentages in the NBA after 30, 31 games, tonight we were not.
With the turnover issues you guys are having, is that something you expect when you're a team that moves and shares the ball as much as you guys do, or do you think it's just stuff you guys need to, clean up on?
We got to clean up on it. You go back and, without getting into too much coach speak, we can identify who and where and when turnovers happen. And, there are actually breakdowns of what's this team like in half court. If the game were just a half court sport, what do they do? What do they do when it's an early offense, like the first 6 seconds of a shot clock? What do they do underneath? What do they do on the side? And so we feel clear, we know where the problem lies, but in general, it lies with us, and I'm the head coach, and we got to fix it. And, some of that is easy to blame. We play fast. At times, we're You know, some of our guys are young, most of them aren't anymore. And just, I think when we really critically assess the turnovers, you know, let's dig deep and understand who, why, and when, and then the world becomes a little bit cleaner. And it is something we can talk about, but at the end of the day, we got to fix it. I'm the head coach, it is on me, and it keeps us up late at night.
DeMar and Kyle combined for 23 free throw attempts, with them being the guards having that high of a total. What were they doing that you guys weren't able to stop cleanly at the basket?
I just think it's what they are. Like, you know, it really shouldn't shock any of us that they came in with numbers. Those numbers are high, I concede. And what they do is they attack pressure. They bury their head, they find a spot, they bull their way into environments that are confrontational and, you know, expose that collision. DeMar is gifted in so many ways. You know, you look down and to have 45 points, you know, against what analytics would say aren't very efficient shots, and he just picks spots and jumps. And he sure makes a lot, and he's been doing it for a long time. I think the physical nature of how they attack is the main sort of big picture reason why they can get to the line and get calls.
Brett, I'm sorry if someone already asked this question a little late, but you knew that Toronto was going to go on a run, like your team. Can you just say what kind of contributed to? I mean, you know,
I think they jumped us. Like they just crawled into us. It wasn't like they double teamed Ben or, you know, they blitz pick and rolls. They got physical. And you know it. That's what the NBA does. And like I burned 2 timeouts to try to get us stronger. There's no magic bean. There's no magic play. It's body, ball stuff. If they come up and press you, you're going to have to back them off and create space and possibly expose fouls like Kyle and DeMar do. But when you look at it, you know, they went a little bit smaller. They switched out on everything. They got up and in. And, you know, they went on an offensive tear and made a bunch of threes. I don't know the exact number. Was that? Yeah, it felt like 10 of 11. And it just felt like that. And I think, you know, that type of mentality, to me, sort of set the tone for the third period.
When the offense stalls like it did during the Raptors' third quarter run, how do you guys remedy that?
With the group that we have, it's by committee. It's not like let's post Joel or bring JJ off some screens and draw attention. It's got to be done by 5 people sharing the ball and moving the ball. Late in the game, in that period, we ended up playing a lot through Dario. We sort of anointed him as the target we wanted to play through. But in general, when I go back to a timeout and I'm looking at the team that's available and you look at it, you know, we do some things to free people up, but by and large, I think it's got to become space and movement, not like magic bean plays. And we got jumped, we got stood up, and I think, you know, the tape will tell a lot more. But I feel like with this group, we had our best solution was to spread them out and move ourselves in the ball and find opportunities for somebody on that team to find gaps.
Dario had one of his better games. Was that a matter of him, like you said, running the offense through him, letting him be?
I think some of it was that. You know, I think some of it he found stuff himself. I thought Cov shot the ball well. You know, I thought Ben making a few rise-up jump shots was encouraging. You know, we'll go back and we'll look at it. But there were some things, you know, you leave the game against a hot team. I mean, I think it's 11 out of 12. You know, they're 4th in defense, 4th in offense, number 1 at creating turnovers. Been there, done that for a while now. I leave disappointed that again, you know, we had a lead, we lost it, but I also leave, you know, encouraged by some of the signs that we saw.
Speaking of Covington, how important is it for him to be knocking out these threes for you guys for your offense?
What do you think? It's an obvious answer I give. You know, it's like you got Ben Simmons that can pick apart a gym. Like, you need the space. You know, when you look at it at the end of the day, you go, you know, what is it, 9 for 29 at 31%? That's not going to get it done. That won't get it done. And, you know, we need to make some shots. We'll continue to do a good job with sharing the ball. I'm proud of how we pass. I like the mentality that the team has on trying to go from, you know, good to great and find teammates. But the end receiver, you know, we're going to look for more. We're going to look for more efficient shooting and encourage our guys to do it, continue to practice like we practice. I don't want anybody feeling tight or stiff. We'll make it or we won't. But the preparation of loading up and playing low and showing your hands and a belief factor of, you know, your mind and really dealing with the preparation beforehand with your footwork, all the technical sides of loading up and believe in what we do. We're going to have to get better at that.
But speaking of Dario, I mean, he was really dynamic tonight. How important is it that he steps up like this, especially when the roster is a little depleted as it is right now? And then also, how can he continue to play like he did tonight, even when Joel is in the game?
I mean, of course, and I don't know, right? We need him. When you don't have those targets, you know, you really go into a game and, you know, you're wondering how you're going to score. Like, who are you going to go through and go to? And it's obvious, like, when Joe and JJ are there. And tonight, you know, we made Dario a target, and he responded. How does he continue to do that? We hope, you know, that, like everything, it starts with health and making sure that we get our guys the proper rest. And we're in a tough run right now. You know, we're in a tough run. Some self-inflicted, some, you know, a deteriorated team. None of it is anything that we don't own. But, you know, we're in a tough stretch right now, and we will get through this. There's going to be no meltdowns. We got a good group. We feel purposeful with what we're trying to get done. And got a tremendous amount of faith with the people behind me in that locker room. They're good people that bust their tail. And we feel strong about the direction that we're heading in regards to what we deem important and how we try to do it. And so now we just got to get it done.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.